I'm Gary Key with Fish Recon. We're here with Clayton Eslick, Spiralite Rods. Talk to us about these rods, Clayton. This is something not new technology-wise, but you guys are innovators in bringing it to the market. What do we got in the way of rods here?
So we have 2 series right now. We're going to be working on 3, but we have 2 at this point. But the first series is the Maverick Series. It's more of an entry-level rod, but it's a 30-ton blank, and we have Alps components, all Alps components, and wind grips, and some custom hook keepers. Also, it has a lifetime warranty, which is unheard of in the industry for a rod that's $99.
So check this out. This is the Maverick Series. Got it in focus there. And this is a 7'6" medium.
Yeah.
Wow, that's light.
Yeah.
I mean, that feels really good in the hand. And I noticed that it has the eyes going around. That's what a spiral wrap rod is.
Yeah,
right?
a spiral wrap rod has been around for a long time on the West Coast, but actually what it does is it reduces line friction because there's less eyes on the blank, and then
So less line friction means I can cast farther?
cast farther, and I think it doesn't heat up your line as much, so you actually get your stronger line too.
So we've got Dennis Papike over here. Dennis, come on over here. So you're the designer developer of these, and there's a science behind this and a physics behind this of why spiral wrap is a superior rod. Maybe you can talk through that a little bit.
Well, the biggest benefit of a spiral wrap rod is getting rid of the torque in the blank. By transferring the guides up around and bringing that line underneath, you're getting rid of that torque in the blank. The line wants to find its way underneath. It's just pure physics. And that when you bend it, the line wants to pull down, so what it's doing is pulling on the side of those guides, and it'll go one way or the other. By bringing the line back underneath, you stabilize that blank already, so you don't get any of that torque in the blank.
So
And you can tell in your wrist, if you put the torque in the blank, it's going to turn your wrist. With a spiral wrap, you get rid of all of that.
So you're taking sort of the concept of a spinning rod where the line's already on the bottom and converting it to a bait caster where you roll it around. Obviously the bait caster, the reel has to be on top.
Exactly, and by doing that, since we're basically turning it into a spinning rod in the upper half of the rod, we're able to space our guides more like a spinning rod. So we're not trying to keep the line off the bend of the rod now, so we've got more spacing, so we've lightened up the tip of the rod, which makes it a quicker recovery on it. So we've made a more sensitive rod. We're getting more out of the blank by going with the spiral wrap.
I love it. So this is ergonomic superiority, and I had a chance to fish with these all day, and I've got tendonitis in my arms and whatnot, and I just noticed that when I fished with this for 8 straight hours, when I got home, my wrist didn't hurt as bad as it normally does, and I never knew it before, but now it's starting to make sense. It's an ergonomic thing that reel's constantly wanting to go over with a standard rod, but here, where that line balances that way, it was less pressure on my wrist.
Almost definitely.
Awesome. So you've got a way to demonstrate this on a test machine over here.
Yeah, so I got a little tool here that actually shows you the torque in a conventional rod and the lack of torque in a spiral wrap.
Okay, so before we do that, so we talked about the Maverick Series. You had another one you wanted to show us, Clayton.
Yep, this is the Defiance series. This is our high-end rod. This has a 40-ton Japanese for it. Blank, and it has a little bit higher components from Alps and wind grips, but these rods are going to be a little bit lighter and they react a little bit different. I really like these rods. They're light, they take a lot less fatigue out during the day, and the actions are amazing. So
less fatigue is better.
Yep.
Check this out. Oh yeah. So that's what I like about this. I can feel it right away when I grab the rod. With a reel on it, it feels very balanced.
Yeah.
I don't feel like something's weighting down on the tip.
Yep. And also the reel seat, which I really like fishing the Delta heavy covers, that it locks the reel in. So when you have a big fish on, you're not getting any slop in the reel.
Gotcha. Yeah, I noticed it was a little bit different. Yeah, that looks like it would lock in pretty good. I might put this in my back pocket and come back later.
Hey, try it out. You'll buy a whole set of them.
All right. So Dennis, let's check it out.
Okay, right here we've got a conventional wrap rod, guides on top, and I'm going to show when you put a load on this rod, you got torque. You see the reel just spins over.
Oh, right. So the reel's spinning over right
So the reel just spins over when you torque on the blank. And that's transferring to your wrist.
Gotcha.
You know, the heavier the load, the more torque you're going to get.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
when you're fighting a fish, that's when you're going to get that extra tension on your wrist.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And that's a conventional
This
rod.
is a conventional wrap rod. Okay, here we have the spiral wrap rod. When you put a load on the rod, it wants to stand the reel up. There is absolutely no torque in the blank. I have a full load on this rod right now, and if you'll notice, the reel stands straight up.
Oh, that's great.
If you just take just the weight of the reel, you can turn it over.
That really highlights the differentiator.
Yeah.
So now I've got the weight transfer right right here instead of
it's just
my
a straight
wrist
up and
trying-
down. You've got a straight up and down pull on it. Totally stabilizes the blank.
That is fantastic. Now, Dennis, I know that you guys have a Saltwater series now, and the same concept applies, and I would imagine it's magnified to a different level, right? Because you're talking much bigger fish now that are going to want it in a standard rod, standard saltwater rod. You're pulling up a big tuna, that's really going to want to pull that reel over. For a spiral wrap rod, you're really going to have that control of the fish and not have the ergonomic strain.
Most definitely. That's where it actually started out, was on the West Coast years ago in the saltwater industry. These guys do the spiral wrap so they didn't have to try and fight to keep that reel up on a big fish. That's where you really, really notice it.
That is fantastic. I love it. Dennis, thank you for the time. Clayton, I don't know where Clayton's at, but thank you to Clayton. Appreciate the time.
Thank you very much
Good luck
for
with
having
this,
us.
and I can't wait to try them out. Clayton, thanks, buddy. Good stuff. That's a wrap.